righty, and welcome to Sofia by Night, our 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. I am Bolthero, the storyteller, and this week I have all three players. Uh,
Yay.
you want to you want to
Sorry.
go ahead and introduce? No, go ahead and introduce yourself, Jen.
Okay, I'm Jen, and I'm playing Iskra. She is a teenage Bruja vampire.
All righty, and welcome back, Praetor.
Hey, I'm Matt. I am playing Praetor of Clan Nosferatu.
And that leaves Mr. Perez.
And I'm Eric, playing Claudio Perez, a Ventru who enjoys the taste of the flesh.
Oh
Oh,
my, that could be
all righty.
taken a few ways there.
A loaded statement if I ever heard one.
Mm.
All right, let's give kind of a recap of our last episode. The brick building that they, or the brick house, if you like to call it, has officially been renamed to Nightshade. So for business purposes, of course, I want to say it's Nightshade LLC. Um,
Gotta get that paperwork right.
there you go. So the coterie has begun their decorations on the new place with some help from Reynaldo, Claudio's sire. While looking around the building, they found a hidden doorway built into the wall. With some help from Iskra, they helped to uncover the brick doorway and found it led to a staircase that led down to a basement that apparently no one knew was attached to this building, probably including the prior occupants. When they got down there, they found that it looked like some boxes, some crates had been stored there. They could tell this from the dust on the floor that had been disturbed. Looking a little closer, they actually found a tunnel built into the wall that had been used recently as well. So apparently someone had moved things in and out of this basement. When the coterie went through one of the tunnels, they found themselves at actually a doorway, a wooden doorway. They broke down the door and found, actually interrupted the business of three gentlemen. And what they could tell, one of them was at least another vampire. They sort of diffused the situation thanks to Mr. Claudio's charismatic skills, and agreed to that they would just back off quietly, and they were going to pay for the door and all that, of course. They went back to Nightshade. Actually, first they kind of checked some of the other tunnels and found that the tunnels just seemed to go everywhere. They don't know exactly how far they went. Rather than getting lost, they decided to go back to Nightshade. As soon as they got there, they heard a scream from up above. They ran upstairs and found out that someone had broken into the house. They had actually knocked out Stefan, and they killed poor Archibald and had kidnapped the girls. When they went out to the street, there was a really strange man. They do remember he had very red, glowing eyes. He called himself Petrov, and said that they needed to improve their security. That he said you were given something, but you can't defend it, so you don't deserve it. He ran away once they finished their conversation, but saying that he would be definitely coming back. We're going to open up this episode with all three of the coterie are actually at Nightshade. Praetor again has been missing, but we'll let him introduce himself. He again has been spending his nights working with Turville, mostly boring stuff, just inventory, things like that. Turville really hasn't said a whole lot to him recently, but tonight Praetor has some free time. Let's put it that way. When they do get to Nightshade, all three characters find that Veronica and Elizabeth were already there. They apparently were brought back sometime during the day, and are in in the main hallway of Nightshade, and that's where we will begin with all three characters arriving.
Well, they lived, I think.
Hildegarde.
Veronica and Elizabeth, do you remember where you were?
There was three men. They smelled like beasts. They were horrible. Um, they, they covered our faces. We couldn't see where we were going. They they didn't really hurt us. They were very rough with us, but they brought us back. But the man, he said he'll be back. He said he's going to come back. You better be prepared.
Yeah, I think he gave us that message as well. That part.
Perhaps we should worry or prepare for defense.
Hildegarde has also arrived, and she's trying to kind of comfort the girls a little bit. And she's like, "Well, what are we going to do about this?"
The man has made an enemy of the wrong people.
He's pretty tough, though.
Yes, we have to be smart about it. Going back to a plot point we talked about last week, Tom, we had a situation where possibly there were Nosferatu involved. I can't put my finger on it, and I'm trying to find my notes, and I don't see where I put that.
Oh.
Bye. But I was trying to figure out where, if we could go back.
Was it with Alexander saying that he thought something with the Nosferatu and the tavern or something? Is that what you mean? Or
We had questioned those people, and we got information that possibly, if I'm not mistaken, some Nosferatu were involved, and we wanted to talk to.
oh, the people in the tunnel. Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to
Yeah.
talk to either Praetor or his sire and figure out exactly if they had any information on the
Okay.
tunnels that were above this particular area.
Praetor has not been told about these tunnels.
Nope.
Okay, so let's kind of go through the 5-minute, TLDR on this information.
Sure. I kind of what you guys met, the information you got from the guys you broke down the door, that they apparently were some smugglers, but they had said that they used the tunnels, but they know primarily the Nosferatu used them.
And I was trying to figure out if Praetor, if you've heard anything about these specific tunnels down here, or maybe this information can be brought back to your sire so we can hopefully get some background on what's happening. Obviously, this is important, but we need to have more information on this.
I agree. I can tell you I know nothing of this location. My sire has been quite busy with his own project, as it were. And we are both relatively new to the city, so I am not sure he would necessarily know much as far as any direct information. But he may know people that might be able to get such information, or at least speak to those who may know more about this location and the other Nosferatu in the area.
Very good.
I can go ask him when I return this evening.
That might be something we might want to do. Also, we need to figure out how to get some help to defend this area. I am assuming we don't want to have humans. I would rather have not Nosferatu. Any type of vampire we can trust in this to help this specific. I try and stay away from Veronica and Elizabeth.
Right.
But we want to try and keep it on the down low as much as possible.
You do have a couple options. We had talked about last week that one was you could approach Reynaldo, who is Claudio's sire. Um,
Yes. Hmm.
Another option would be to approach Alexander, the Toreador elder, who had he kind of started you on this path of setting up this part of the town. Um, or you could go directly to Turvel as well to find out what his opinion on it, or what kind of what he knows.
I have a question for the storyteller.
Sure.
Last time Iskra went to the Nightshade, she brought Stefan with her.
Hmm.
Did she do that this time or not?
Uh, would she bring him again?
Possibly.
Okay.
She's of the impression that Patia, her sire, thinks that Stefan would be a good chaperone.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll say that Stefan came along, and
Okay.
he'll try to keep an eye on things again. Last time he got knocked out, but yeah,
Yeah.
you guys can leave the girls with him for now if you like. But you do have a couple options for what you'd like to do next.
All right.
Okay, so I think what I'll end up doing is I will go to Ronaldo. Now again, we never want to split the party,
Mm.
why?
but
Why does that end badly? So,
yeah, but
Well, this isn't D&D, so probably not.
I don't know.
if anything, things could get sneakier. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be, yeah.
but I'd like to be able to get information. So I'd like if we could kind of split up to kind of trying to get as much information as
sure,
possible before we come
sure,
back to Nightshade.
sure.
Yeah.
So okay, so Claudio is going to go see Ronaldo then.
That's correct.
Okay, and what would Praetor like to do?
I'll go right to Turvel.
Okay.
The fact that Nosferatu are attached to something underground here is interesting to him because he's never Turvel's never mentioned anything,
Hmm.
and this is news to him. Like, is this something that like getting us together might be a good thing? As you know, the Nosferatu tend to kind of be shunned by the others.
Hmm.
It might be worthwhile to say, hey, if you guys are down here, we're up here. Not necessarily up top, but
Hmm.
we might be able to form some sort of you know association if you guys need some help. You know,
Okay.
so he at least definitely wants to go back to Turtle and at least, hey, we found some tunnels down here underneath Nightshade.
Hmm.
Do you have any information on this? That definitely wants to at least broach that subject because this, as far as Praetor is concerned, he has no reason to not believe his sire on anything he tells him.
Hmm. Okay. And Iskra, what would you like to do? You're going to go along with one of the two of them, or you want to,
Ugh.
or do you want to go talk to Alexander?
I don't want to talk to Alexander.
Okay.
Nope. Nope, nope,
Okay.
nope.
So are
Um,
you going to go along with Mr. Perez? You're going to go along with Turvel?
um, I want to see if I can keep these people somewhat safe by convincing them to go into part of the tunnel and then bricking it back up
Okay.
so that if that guy comes back, maybe he won't find them.
Okay. That's going to take you a while to brick a wall back up.
Okay, well, it just has to look like it. It doesn't have to look perfect.
Okay.
So if Hildegarde is still there, she can help because
Okay.
she helped make it.
Okay. Yeah, you guys. I mean, really, the bricks are still there. I mean, you could just kind of repair the wall in a way. You don't really have the mortar to really put
Yeah,
it
but
back,
it's
but you
just
can.
gotta look good. It doesn't have to,
Okay.
it was hard for us to see before, so maybe they won't see them and,
Okay.
you know,
That'll
try to
work.
protect the humans as much as I can. And then I'm gonna go probably with
Well, that's going to
Praetor.
take you probably most of the night to.
Oh, then I will
to
be here doing
yeah.
this.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
going to
that's
say, yeah.
fine.
It's going to take you a little while to kind of get all that together. So, all right. So you and Hildegarde are going to
Hmm.
stay and do that. So.
Yep.
Okay, well, then what we're going to do is we're going to first start off with Claudio, then returning to Ronaldo's Haven to talk to him. He's in his study, his office, as he is usually doing, when Claudio comes in.
Ronaldo, how nice to see you.
Good to see you. How are things?
We've had some events come to pass as of late, and I would like to sit down and have a nice chat if you don't mind.
Sit, of course.
Before we start, do you have any rum?
Let's find out. Rum. I don't even know if rum exists actually, because
Hmm.
they haven't found the new world yet.
Oh well,
Let's take it.
Claudia
Let's
is.
just for laughs. Well, they have some sort of spirits. Maybe some sort of wine or something, but I don't think they have rum yet. But
West Indies, Barbados? No, apparently not.
not found
All
yet.
right,
It's
all
it's
right.
only it's only the year 1200.
Oh yeah,
You
okay.
remember, you will sail off the edge of the world.
That's true.
Right, right.
I don't know. I'm more of a scholar. Um.
No
Okay.
no flat Earth theories, right?
Yeah, I'm not a flat earth theory kind of guy. Never have, never will be. Okay, so let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll tell to Ronaldo about what we found in the tunnels,
hmm
and all the basically the TLDR stuff,
Okay.
and to give him the information on Petrov.
hmm
And basically, I want to know, first of all, if you've ever heard of this Petrov character, if this the same person that we heard about in the nightclub while we were there, and I'm trying to figure out if you know anything about the Nosferatu in the tunnels.
He's really surprised. He says, I really doubt that was from what you described to me. That doesn't sound like Bishop Petrov. It sounds like someone's just trying to invoke his name to confuse us. This character is unknown to me, but there are Canaanites who live outside the city. They live in the mountains. They don't feel any loyalty to the prince, so they may be encroaching in our territory. So this is definitely troubling. These tunnels, I've no knowledge of them. I don't think anyone did outside about the Nosferatu and then these smugglers. I mean, where are these smugglers working with the Nosferatu? Are they different?
We did not get that information. However, we have squashed the situation where it's not. It shouldn't be any trouble coming from that side. We just want to make sure the business and the establishment is sound and reasonable for everyone. And if this Petrov comes back, we want to have. If worse comes to worse, we need to get out of here. We can use some sort of those tunnels to get out.
I will provide more security for you, um,
Appreciate that.
and I will actually speak directly to Pavel, who is the Ventru council member. Someone's violated your territory, and they must be punished for this.
I would appreciate any help you can give. Be bows to Ronaldo.
You will be compensated for your losses.
Very good. Oh, one more thing. Were you able to find the color pink that we were talking about before? Kind of the nightshade. Oh, it's beautiful and marvelous. And I would like to have some sort of maybe a cashmere uh, drapes. I don't know if you have those abilities also.
This can be provided.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
Okay,
For
I'm gonna head back to the nightshade now.
Okay. So then we are going to go back over to Praetor now. He finds his sire down in his storage room, going through some boxes. As Praetor approaches, he hears Turvel complaining about the condition of something, foolish people with,
Yeah.
you know,
His, his standard complaint.
exactly, exactly.
That they're not
So,
being careful enough. They're not being handling it well.
and
Okay.
he spins with his Count Orlok look. Praetor, why have you returned so soon?
There has been a development, sire. Um,
Development.
Apparently, there are tunnels beneath Nightshade, the new domicile that my friends and I now occupy. And smugglers were down there. And there's talk that they were somehow perhaps aligned or perhaps working with, again, unsure, of some Nosferatu members beneath the city. Are you aware of any such? Or as I was as I was led to believe, we were the only ones, well, we were us and our council representative. We were not many, yet there seems to be rumors that there are several of our kind or our clan down below. What do you know of this?
Yes, there are tunnels. Who else knows about this?
My coterie and said smugglers. Um, so far, we have only discussed it among ourselves, but I gather that my coterie will probably indubitably report it to their sires as well.
This is not good. This knowledge must not be shared.
Understand? But what are these tunnels? What do you know of them?
They are the way our clan exerts our own influence. We see, we hear everything. We are everywhere at once.
And so these tunnels are our domain, as it were.
They are. If someone else is using them, some others have discovered them. This is not good. No.
They have. Apparently, smugglers were using them. Now, I don't know whether or not these smugglers. I know little of that. I was simply told by my coterie what had happened. And he'll relay whatever the story is. The player doesn't remember.
Right. Right.
uh,
Um, and Turville kind of seems a little taken back, and he's like, "Have you spoken of our business to anyone?"
of course not, sire. I do not have your permission to discuss anything more than tertiary information that you are busy with a project and nothing more.
And he kind of looks back past you to the room with the crates that he told you not to look in. He kind of glances back at those and then kind of glancing. He's like, "Have you been snooping?"
Of course not, sire. I would never do such a thing.
This is not good. Our business is being meddled in.
Uh, I did not know there was business there for it to be meddled with.
And he kind of looks around at the crates, and he's like, "This is who 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 is?" And he's just kind of like stuttering for his words. He's like, "Who is talking? Who is talking to the? Have they gone to the prince with this?"
I do not know as of yet. Someone named Petrov had threatened our domicile, our house, and threatened to take it from us if it could not be properly defended. He may have been a distraction, or he may have been a independent looking for his own foothold in our society. It is unknown at this time to me.
Outside player, Eric, me right now
Mhm.
saying, "Awesome distraction." Good, good thought. I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
He says, "Oh, it's not Petrov. You can be sure of that. It's someone else. Uh, maybe an
And
out."
they are encroaching upon our domain and must be dealt with.
Oh, I agree. Anyone who interferes with our business must be dealt with.
I believe that Iskra was looking to block the tunnels so that no one else could gain entrance to our home from there. Beyond that, I do not know for sure what her plans were.
Mm, the Bruja can't be trusted. Just
I
keep.
have yet to I have yet to find that necessary to trust any of them yet.
He kind of clicks his fingers together. And he's like, just keep an eye on them. And again, do not share any more of our business. Lie
I
if you
have
need
not
to.
that I can do.
All right. Thank you
But
for letting me know.
of course, is there anything you want me in particular to do about it? Should I dissuade any further exploration into said tunnels, or
You
engage?
you should not allow them in the tunnels.
Okay. I will simply tell them it is unsafe. If we find any more smugglers, they shall be dealt with.
Have they mentioned, or have they said anything about the thick sheep and our business
No,
there?
no, it was more of a, oh, I happen to know that my sire went there once. Nothing more than an aside. They do not know of anything that transpired between you and I at that location.
Dissuade them from investigating this further.
I shall do my best.
All right, and you are basically released.
Okay.
Do you go back to Nightshade?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go back to Nightshade. At that point, if Iskra is still working on blocking that exit or whatever, that,
hmm
that hole,
hmm
he'll help.
Okay.
Potence ought to help him at least get
Yes.
moving a little faster with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, Side note,
hmm
or additional plot while there was going, Claudio felt like he should go talk to Alexander before he heads back to Nightshade.
Okay, we can do that. Let me. We're gonna have you go then talk to Alexander.
Yep.
You're gonna go back to the kind of the book warehouse that he had, and his servants allow you to enter because they've met you before. And he is really just kind of looking at some of his books when you come in. And he's, Mr. Perez, how good to see you again.
Pleasure is all mine.
What
We've had a situation I'd like to talk to you about.
situation? How so?
A person or vampire, he kind of gives him a little look,
hmm
by the name of Petrov, as he so allows says, has come to see us at the Nightshade.
I doubt that was Bishop Petrov. He was the prince's seneschal and his closest advisor. This man doesn't really fit his description or Bishop Petrov's style. He was never a confrontational man. But whoever he was, apparently he's sending a message not just to you, but to the entire city. He's taunting all of us. He's taunting the prince directly by taking Petrov's name in vain.
Were there other situations of this particular Petrov getting into other of our, and he kind of mentions our business, if you will? Is this a lone incident over at the Nightshade?
This sounds isolated. And that's all he says.
Insight?
Insight? Alrighty. Yep. Let's do insight and intelligence. Let's say it's a difficulty 4.
Okay.
You take him at his word.
Okay. Okay. So, and there's no other factions or people at this particular time that are having an issue with what we're doing outside of possibly the vampire. Again, I'm trying not to pry. I'm just trying to get information that would affect my business.
Well, the last time we spoke, I had some of my contacts do a little bit of surveillance in the city, and they did confirm the smuggler that you told me about. He goes by the name Demetrios, and he did leave the city. They tracked him leaving the city for the northwestern mountains into Hungary. Who knows if he was even headed towards Transylvania? But they did confirm he was active during the day, so he's definitely not kindred.
Sorry, right, typing this down.
Oh, sure. Now, do you say anything about the tunnels yet, or you're just talking about Petrov for the moment?
No, I'm just talking about Petrov, and I'm trying to
Sure.
get as much possible.
Okay.
And I'm looking at is there any? I want to make sure that Basically, if I'm going to get help from Ronaldo, if we get help from anybody,
Hmm.
I'd only want it to be I'm trying to keep that close. The
Sure.
only thing I'm bringing to Alexander is Petrov at this particular
Okay.
moment.
Okay. Just making sure. Um, Now, I believe this should be taken directly to the prince, but
Hmm.
I need more information.
I understand. Well, if I find any more information, I will definitely bring it to your attention.
Very well. Thank you for letting me know. And that's about all he has for you.
Okay. Claudio bows and heads back to the nightshade.
Okay. So we arrive back at the Nightshade. Praetor and Iskra and Hildegarde have built a really nice brick wall.
We
and
just
it,
put the bricks back where they
oh
were.
no, I know.
I
If you
mean,
push on it, it's gonna
it's gonna
collapse again.
fall. Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
collapse again. But okay, so the girls have managed to calm down a little bit. Stefan got them some wine to kind of help them chill out a little bit, but they're still a little nervous. So now the coterie, including Hildegarde, are back together again.
Okay.
Okay, so Claudio wants to go ahead and remind everybody pretty much what he found. The only thing he'll be upfront with everybody as far as all the information, especially what he got from Alexander confirms the smuggler Demetrius was active during the day.
Hildegarde's still a little. All right, so he could like resist us, and he could do things to people's minds, but he's not one of us. So uh, do we need to do we need to find out more about him, or do we just let him go? He doesn't seem like a person to mess with.
Mm, I still want to figure out what's his deal. Ronaldo is sending us some backup
Oh, good.
to help out with security while we're doing our investigations.
What investigations?
Mm,
I thought we were just defending the building.
that is a good thing, but this Petrov guy uh, has me befuddled. I need to figure out more information on him.
So you're gonna what? Talk to him, or I don't understand.
Talk to him. Sounds like a good idea. I wonder where
I
he
don't
is.
know. I mean, I don't know.
What did he say to us? He was the one who threatened our place, our home.
Right.
Threatened our place and killed.
This is not my home.
I forget. He killed the friend
Oh,
Elizabeth and Veronica's friend. I forget that.
Archie.
Archie. Yeah,
Hmm.
Archibald. Yeah, he killed
so
Archibald.
he has made waves in the ocean, as it were, attacking where he should not be. And my own information is unfortunately not very much. My own sire could not tell me much more than the tunnels were bad, and Petrov was unlikely to be associated with anything important, or as I should say, as small as our own domain. Whoever that person was perhaps acting of their own accord, as he believes.
But
Uh,
he has some influence, as he was not alone in this endeavor that he carried out. We felt, and he looks at Iskra and Hildegard,
Hmm.
that if we had pursued physical matters, we may have been outnumbered at this
We would have
particular.
been outnumbered. I'm not strong enough to fight that guy on my own.
no, but well, our additional security may help us then maintain or retain our domicile. As he said, if we cannot defend it, then we do not deserve it. He is not incorrect in that matter. However, we have other resources available to us, do we not?
We do. I'm looking at my two resources on my
Hmm.
and contacts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if it is it up, it is not only, as I understand the traditions, it is up to us to maintain and defend our, how shall I call, haven, so that we are not discovered and break the masquerade.
Well, we don't have to call it a haven. We can call it Nightshade. It's our Nightshade.
No, but from what I believe, my statement still stands. What we call the place matters not. Is that part of our mission or part of our responsibility is to keep our not only keep ourselves safe, but to maintain the masquerade as part of as a part of our existence. So we must try to dissuade further attacks from this man, or should he attempt to uh, attack us again, we must properly defend ourselves.
Uh, Claudia goes over to Praetor and puts his right hand on his shoulder and says, "This is our nightshade."
I agree, and I will not. I will not stand for any more incursions, as it were. So this creature, if he chooses to attack us again, will suffer.
And what is the best way for the best way to defend ourselves? Finding information.
How is that going to help, though? I mean, he's just going to come back and do the same thing he did the other night.
I agree, but everyone has a weakness. Even a vampire. We have to figure out what that is.
I agree. He must know. He has some. What's the word? There's a foothold we can use against him, I believe.
And if he has influence and he has a crew, that means somebody has to know something somewhere. So
I agree.
We might have to. I'm gonna have to. Let me see what my background is. See if I can pull something out of there to get some information. Does anybody have any backgrounds in? I don't say. I'm talking out of my
that's fine.
character right now.
Yep.
Does anybody have any resources or contacts or anything that could help out with this search?
I'm bringing up what I have. I do have a PDF with my character sheet on it, so
Okay.
I'm bringing that up.
Uh,
I
let me-
had it uploaded up into the other thing, but I don't remember it all.
I'm gonna open up my manual real quick.
Actually, Iskra has 3 dots in contacts.
I have two. I have 2 dots in contacts.
I have.
I'm not sure who they are. I mean, I didn't write a story for it.
No, that's
but,
fine.
Yeah.
I have no contacts, but I have a Matla, Malwa. What is that?
Yeah, it's like an important
Mala.
It is
Like a mentor.
Yep.
Is it
Yeah, it is.
okay, I just figured that was Turble.
Yep. In your case, yeah, it is. It is probably Turble at the moment.
Yeah.
But yes, actually, Iskra does have some contacts, kind of connected through her sire to other kindred in the city. We'll say.
Okay. Didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I should have known that.
You didn't have to use it.
No, didn't need it until now. So I could probably go talk to her and see what she has to say.
Okay. You going to go by yourself, or are you going to let the boys tag along?
I'll tag along with you if you don't mind. I can be quite intimidating. If you need,
Fatia's not going to find you intimidating, but
Hildegarde says,
you can come with.
Hildegarde's like,
I don't know.
I don't think she likes Nosferatu very much.
She kind of. It's not a good
So
plan.
it would not be I should say she would not view my presence as something worthwhile.
That's a way to put it. Yeah. Okay. We'll go with that.
It would be detrimental for me to tag along.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Then I will tag along with Claudio instead.
Okay.
If he needs one.
Okay.
At this point, I can offer nothing further, as my own sire gave me very little.
All right. So Iskra, why don't you take Hildegarde with you?
Okay. We'll go together.
You're going to take her back to your communal humble abode, and then Claudia.
And on the way, I'm gonna let Hildegarde know that she does fight well, and Patia might approve of that. Sort of set things rolling here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we start with that first, then you arrive at your haven. Servants open the door. Patia's there. You can see she's been crying a little bit.
No.
And she looks up, she looks at you, and then she looks over at Hildegarde. She's like, "What is a Ventrue doing in my home?"
Escorting me back here. We have a problem.
Very well. Come in.
Okay, come come in. I'm
Hildegarde's
waving
like
him to.
Hildegarde's kind of like looking for a steak coming at her from.
No.
All right, you sit down with her.
And I tell her all the stuff that has gone on and
Okay.
uh, ask if she knows this Petrov guy and describe him.
She's similar. She's like that doesn't sound like Petrov at all. He wasn't a very aggressive person, even for one of our kind. He's a Lasombra. They can be sneaky, but he was
Oh.
never directly would never directly attack people. He's very cautious of the Masquerade. And again, we haven't seen him in weeks. We presume he's dead. But this person could be an outsider. He doesn't sound familiar. Red eyes, you say?
Yeah. Really creepy.
He could be Gangrel. They tend not to stay in the city. They don't care for the prince's laws. Not that I do either, but I'm not a savage like them. He could be a Gangrel. There are other kindred who live outside the city. They live in the mountains. They've always stayed there. They follow their own ways. He could be just looking to stir up trouble. It's very interesting. I will. I'll talk to my contacts and see what they know of a person with red eyes. But he sounds like a gangrel, probably.
Could be. He took two of gonna say Claudio's ladies the other night and brought them back, I guess, in the morning. They were there when we came back to the building, and they said that they smelled like beasts.
Yes, the women weren't harmed, were they?
They said that the beasts were a little rough, but they were okay.
And she kind of just clenches her fists. She's like,
Yeah, exactly. I've got them hopefully protected in an area in the building, but I should get back.
I don't. I can talk to my own contacts. I don't think the prince will do anything without more
I doubt it.
information.
Yeah, he doesn't seem very helpful or honestly very sane.
Yes. Do you mention anything about the tunnels to her?
Yeah, I was gonna continue and say that we
Oh, sorry.
found
Okay.
tunnels underneath, and Claudio's just very interested in those for some reason. There's some smugglers. I don't care about them at all. But I've got his ladies and Stefan in an area near the tunnel or in it, just close to the building. And Hildegarde and I broke a brick wall, a door kind of thing to get in there the other night. We put it back, but it's like just brick. Just to, I don't think these two ladies should have to go through that again if that guy comes back.
No,
You know?
no woman should suffer at the hands of a man.
Right.
Who do you think built these tunnels? I've never heard of such a thing.
I don't know. They were just there. They were just there. I mean, we didn't even see the little outline of the bricks until just the other night. I mean, I guess we hadn't explored very well, but
So
I don't know who built them. They were there. There was a couple of smugglers saying that they've used those tunnels, and I think one was a vampire maybe, but I don't know anything. It smelled really bad, that I know.
and you were given these lands by Alexander,
Yeah.
and it sounds like he didn't even know about.
I haven't talked to him since. I don't know what he knows. I don't like him.
No, he's a.
Preachy.
That's one way to put it. He has his own tastes.
That's one way to put it as well.
I wonder. And then she starts to say something. She's like, "No, I think, no, I doubt he would willingly convince the council to give you territory that would be in danger to begin with." She's
Maybe.
like, very well. I will contact. I will work with my contacts in the city and find out what I can about this vampire with the red eyes. If we can find out who he is, and I will give you any support I can to help protect your territory.
That would be great. Because I know Claudio said that his sire is sending, I don't know, bodyguards or something, but it'd be
Good,
nicer to have more.
good. How is Stefan? And he probably tagged along.
He's
He didn't. He stayed back. So
yeah, he's calming down the two ladies. I thought maybe if they were in a safe place that didn't have any vampires in it, it might help them a bit.
he is. He's very dear to me, for a man.
He's very nice.
We will. We will keep him around. He's already tasted my blood once and
Right.
had a
Yes.
taste
I don't
for it.
think he was aware of it at that point, but
No,
yes, that's true.
but we will keep him on. Perhaps would you like him as a servant?
That might work well. Yeah.
He's yours to have.
All right.
Okay.
I've never had a servant. What does it mean?
He will. You will be able to feed him your blood, and eventually he will grow addicted to it and will become your servant. The term they use is ghoul, which is
Sounds like
distasteful.
an Nosferatu. Yeah.
Yes, it is distasteful, but I think it would be helpful for you to have a daytime servant of your own,
Yeah. Thanks.
of course. Okay, and that's about all she had for you. We are then going to go back to Mr. Perez and Praetor.
You
Okay, so what type of contact would I mean? I'm my future or my past self was still in kind of in the
Mm-hmm.
underworld. He knew smugglers and all those type of
Mm-hmm.
people who lived in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just looking for information on the Veronica and Elizabeth smell and
Mm-hmm.
trying to find anything that had their red eyes and something like that.
They think it might be Gangrel as well. That they aren't really, not that they're not allowed in the city. They just tend not to be in the city. Um, they really just didn't like the prince's laws. They did work with the Zamisi, or I always say their name wrong, the Fiends, when they were at war with the Tremere. The Gangrel sided with them. They seemed to be more about the land and the old world. And the Tremere were really they were what they called usurpers. They stole their power and became their own clan. So if this man, he may be Gangrel, they doubt he was Tremere. Because they don't seem to work that way, and the Tremere there aren't any Tremere in the city. There aren't any Zamisi. There aren't any Gangrel that they know of.
And do they have any information on where they may be located?
Uh, Really kind of outside the city,
Okay,
in the
okay,
mountains.
gotcha.
But they don't have necessarily a name for him. But from what you've described, it sounds like it was probably a Gangrel.
You have any question for the context, Praetor?
no, no. This is new information to him, so he's simply kind of absorbing it and taking it in.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, that's. I only have two, so that one person would probably be the only one I could get information from.
Okay.
that's fine.
No, he has gangrel is a new term to him essentially because his sire didn't even mention that as anything that this Turville person or Turville impersonator could be.
Hmm.
I'm still developing my flaws as Dark Secret,
Mhm.
and what I was thinking about was Gangrel also, but that's a whole other thing we can do.
Um, yeah, they again, they're kind of, well, it definitely sounds like somebody from outside is coming in to cause trouble. Whether or not they're tied in with this Demetrius, they could be completely separate. They could be tied in together. Who knows?
do we have anyone that would know about the gangrel and how they I'm trying to figure out what I could use for that. How they work, what their advantages, disadvantages are, and things of that nature. How their does anybody have any information with the contacts as far as gangrel themselves, how they fight?
They would tell you that they're called savages. That
Okay.
they have the ability to shapeshift. They can become bats. They can become other animals, wolves. At the eldest among them can even just turn into smoke, and just can become part of the land itself. They're very dangerous. They don't like outsiders. The of 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 Bulgaria, they tend not to deal with outsiders. They don't take part in the politics of the city.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll head back to Nightshade.
Okay, and we flash back to Nightshade, and all the kids are back together again.
I wanted to ask Hildegarde on the way back, you know, what clan were you before you became a Ventru?
I,
Are you sure you're a Ventru?
I'm positive I am.
So your
I
sire was a Ventru?
yes, he definitely was,
Hmm.
or
You're sure about that?
he is.
Was. What happened to him? You could tell me.
He's he is no longer alive. He was a very bad man. He had very bad um, tastes, and
I see. Did you kill him? Because that would make sense.
you can't tell anyone this.
I'm not going to tell anyone anything.
I did. I had. He was destroyed.
This makes sense too. You fight well. I've always thought you'd make a good Bruja.
I don't like being what I am to begin with, but and some of his curses have been passed to me.
I don't know anything about curses, really, but I can tell you I'm very different in undeath than I was in life.
I know
It's okay.
I know I can trust you, but please don't tell anyone,
I won't.
because that is one of the, from what I'm told, that's one of the greatest sins of our kind, is destroying your maker.
Yeah, you'd be in a lot of trouble. Does anyone else know that it was you?
Not that I know of, but
Okay.
again, I'm from Hamburg, Germany,
Right, okay.
and
Yeah, I'm not from Sofia either, but anyway. Yeah.
and I left that past behind me to come here. That's
Okay.
why I wasn't. I made up a story about my sire not being able to present me.
That makes sense. I mean, that would have. Wow. I can't imagine what the prince would have done if that had gotten out that night.
Yeah, I thought they were going to destroy me as well.
Possibly. But, okay. And I pat her hand. So you are a Ventru.
Yes,
All right, let's go back.
I am. But okay, you guys head back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the kids are all together. And what do you tell each other?
We're gonna go ahead and share the information on what I got from my contacts as far as possible gangrel
Mm-hmm.
in the mountains.
Yeah, it's probably gangrel. Patia says it's gangrel, and your two ladies said they smelled like beasts. What else could it be?
How dangerous are these gangrel? You laugh, but it is a serious question.
Uh-huh. Well, this is how Brujas handle that, okay? It's either that or cry. I don't know.
I mean, are they known for stealth? Are they known for guile? Are they known
I don't know
for
anything else.
From what my contacts say, they're rather beastly. They have the
You knew
ability.
that.
They have the ability to shapeshift into other things. We need to come up with a plan to deal with this.
so they might look like animals or.
Yes, bats, wolves.
But okay, so creatures that perhaps within the city walls would be somewhat suspect.
Exactly, but in a situation where it's indoors, they may be able to unleash whatever rage they want to. So keeping them outside might be the best way to go.
I agree. Very well. We must learn more about them if we are to prepare a proper defense for such creatures.
And unfortunately, I'm not really fit for combat, if you will.
Right, right. We've
I'm
established that.
however, I'm sure coming up with an intelligent plan, we can make it happen.
And
Anyways,
that then that is, I believe, your task, because I am not suited for such a feat, whereas you are not geared for combat. Well, growing up spending my early years as a Roman soldier, I have prepared for much combat, and
well,
thus should he return, I will attempt to give a good accounting.
and we are lucky to have you. He bows to Praetor.
Thank you. Um, I have nothing further for this evening, unless we wish to perhaps work on gathering the resources to seal up that entrance in more solid fashion.
Hmm. Well, let's go ahead and do as much as we can, but I am sure we need to rest and make sure we are ready for tomorrow's adventure.
I agree,
All right.
but
I
our
think we should
further
seal up the tunnels as well.
but we need more than just replacing the bricks. We need
Yeah,
mortar. We
didn't
need
Claudia, weren't they supposed to like put a door or something?
That was the original plan, was to try and get a door or something steel or something hard in there to work, but with um, uh, resources coming from Ronaldo, we don't know how long it's going to take. So anything temporary we can work on for right now is just fine.
okay.
Okay.
Praetor definitely wants something permanent. The idea of a door is kind of like, we should make it.
Yeah, I
We
don't like
should replace the wall. Is his opinion.
I agree, but it's my building, so we should make sure we have something that is stronger than the brick, but able to be opened from our side.
Very well, but we need
I
to do
still
so
think
quickly.
we should seal off the tunnel.
I'm inclined to agree, Iskra. There's nothing down there that is any worthwhile. If the smugglers are using it, then as far
It's
as I'm
just another
concerned,
way in. I mean,
yeah,
it's another
exactly.
way they could get to us.
It's a
We've
Mm,
already had
vulnerability
that
that
happen,
yeah,
and we
it's a
can prevent
vulnerability
this.
that someone could exploit. If we remove that vulnerability, then there's nothing to exploit. And while those tunnels are down there, I'm sure there's other entrances or exits from there that we could find if we wished to explore them further. No, I think we are best off simply sealing that hole and forgetting about those tunnels.
Yeah, that's the safest.
Let me remind you of what happens to a mouse if it's in a maze and with only one entrance and one exit.
I don't
You make
understand.
I do. He means that we should have a back exit in case something attacks us from the front. But those tunnels are dangerous and therefore perhaps too unknown for us to utilize. I say I'm still of a mind that we should seal it off and forget about it for now.
Mm. While I agree in your sentiments alone, forgive me if I take this one on the chin.
Very well. I'm not saying that I don't. Your plan is sound. I'm just saying that I think we might be better off. But let us at least take that chance. And should it come down to it again, should we be attacked or be uh, what's the word?
Again, this is coming from Claudio has no ability, no real ability to fight. So
He
using
wants
his
he
using
wants a
his
back door
mind,
to
yeah,
he wants a back door to run away.
as many
Whereas
options as possible. I'm just saying, as many options as possible.
And Praetor's like, it's like he just sees it from a military standpoint of, okay, well, how do we fight on two fronts if they come in the front door and the back door?
Yep.
So he's like, no, let's focus on one area of, it's like if the only enemy can only come from one direction, then we only have to worry about fighting in one direction. No, no, we'll figure something out. For right now, we've made the hole. Let us repair it as best we can, and we have perhaps some time to deal with it. If we deal with what's his name? What's his name? I already forgot. The guy
Petrov.
with the Petrov. If we have to deal with Petrov, he came at us from the front. If the gangrel are as unsophisticated as you say, then perhaps he will not seek to attack us from our vulnerable point. He will
And
come at us. He will come at us again from the front because that's how he'll feel his honor will demand it.
agreed. And this is in Eric's brain, or this is in Claudio's brain. He's like, well, we also don't know about the Nosferatu contingent, and if they're using the tunnels, he doesn't want to be, you know. So while this is going on, he'll go ahead and Claudio will go ahead and agree to seal those tunnels for right now. But he'd like to look around the building to see if he can find another exit, whether it be on the rooftop or
Right.
something else. He
There
can
is an
look
exit
around
on
to
the
see.
rooftop.
Yeah. There's stairs leading up to the roof, but is it
Mhm.
necessarily a safe exit for us?
Yeah,
I don't know.
we
Yeah.
must have options. We must have options.
Okay. That options are good because they represent another tactical advantage that we can employ. But
Agreed.
we must be careful that they don't leave us vulnerable.
However, while we're doing this, we would not mess up the cashmere drapes.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think that leaves some decisions have been made. I think there's some more decisions still to be made. But I believe this is probably a good place to wrap up. So thank you again to my players. With another great game, and I'm waiting to see what will happen in our final episode of season 1 coming soon.
Yay!
Oh my
Thank you,
god.
everyone.